Hi, I'm Doc Palmer. I'm the author of McGraw-Hill's Maintenance Planning and Scheduling Handbook. Maintenance planning and scheduling is a best practice. However, it has two unusual concepts that are weird. Most people don't get it. Most people can't take advantage of that. But because they're weird, if we can understand those concepts and apply them, we can have a competitive advantage to be even a better company. We don't want to be just a good company where most people are. Good companies make money, they accomplish their mission, they do it in an environmentally correct manner, legally correct manner, and a safe manner. We want to be a great company making even more money, discouraging competition, achieving our mission better, even more safely, even more environmentally friendly, and even more legally correct. But to do that, you sometimes have to do weird stuff. It's exactly where planning and scheduling comes in. The two fundamental concepts are we don't want to run planning as these great planners giving great job plans so craftspersons do a great job. We have to admit we're not perfect. What we want to do is acknowledge the plans aren't perfect and treat them as a head start for professional craftspersons who go out there and do the job the best they can. They give feedback to the plan based on their experience and wisdom. Next time we do this job, it would be better if we update the job plan and we get better over the years. We're running a Deming cycle of continuous improvement. We're applying that to maintenance. In scheduling, most people underload the weekly schedule so that they can have high schedule compliance. They are not completing more work than they would normally complete doing that way. The maintenance manager's question is, how can we do more proactive maintenance to keep things from breaking when we honestly have our hands full of a lot of breakdowns? Well, we can get a 50% pop understanding Parkinson's law. Parkinson's law is the amount of work assigned expands to fill the amount of time available. We have to fully load weekly schedules and accept lower schedule compliance. And then we will complete more work than we normally complete, perhaps and normally a 50% pop in work order completion rate of purely proactive work to keep things from breaking, because you've already staffed yourself to handle the current level of reactivity. So we've been through the principles of planning. We've been through the leverage of planning. We've been through the principles of scheduling and dealing with reactive work. These last few sessions, we've been talking about the computerizing that. We've got this session and perhaps another session. We'll never finish talking about the computer, but after that we'll move on to some other topics for now. Today I want to talk about artificial intelligence. Man, that AI is just growing by leaps and bounds. It got an incredibly short half-life. In just a short amount of time, half of what it could do for us is no longer good information. We've increased the body of knowledge that much. We've changed direction. Things are changing. Couple of benefits and cautions we want to throw in there, and it's important to note because of that short half-life. This is June of 2024. By this time next year, be a totally new ballgame. First of all, AI is going out there and getting the consensus of what everybody thinks. Well, that's the normal distribution. This is what most people think. That's a good company. We don't want to be a good company. We want to be a great company. The best practice is outside of the normal distribution a lot of times, especially for the cutting edge things that make a difference and distinguish the good companies from the great companies. So AI will tell you to underload the schedule to look good, which is what most people do. And it'll tell you this is a typical job plan, but it might not fit your exact application. So be careful of that. Also, will AI just make up stuff with wrong information? Is it truthful all the time? As of this time in the past month of May 2024, there have been a couple of interesting results found by different people that came out on news articles. One was that AI suggested for a pizza recipe adding glue. I'm not kidding, it did. And another one on health suggested adding a small rock every day to your diet. Well, that's just obviously wrong. Why did AI do that? Well, because it's not human and it didn't exercise the right common sense. So just some different various benefits and cautions. I think AI would be great for assembling a job plan package for a particular model pump to address a certain problem on a certain application and location. And it'll derive the real problem that needs addressing. However, where did AI get that information? Is it correct? So then we expect the craftsperson to go in there and not blindly follow that job plan. And then when the craftsperson gives us feedback how we can make the plan better for the next time, is AI going to be a better judge and jury than a human planner to interpret that feedback? Maybe we determine the job should take, say, a little bit longer than a half a day. That'd be 5 hours for an 8-hour shift. And the craftsperson with the feedback, they took 7 hours, or they took all day. And they said this job really should take all day. Is that right? Is that what the typical estimate should be? Who would judge and interpret that? Then a benefit would be completing a weekly schedule for a certain crew that has certain craftsperson. AI could know that some people work well together and some people don't. Maybe that's private information that you could feed into your AI. Human personalities are a real thing. And then maybe some persons are more skilled on pumps. And maybe some persons need more experience on pumps, even though they're both senior mechanics. Would AI know that? And then also, did AI fully load the schedule to defeat Parkinson's law? Or did it underload the schedule to achieve high schedule compliance, which is the industry norm? And I feel that that's incorrect. And where did AI get the information on this from craftspersons? Does it know that some mechanics are slower than others? And as a supervisor, I really don't want to speed up my slow mechanics if I know they're doing a good job and that just speeding them up might make them sloppy and affect quality. And I worry about the faster mechanics. I don't really want to slow them down. And then is AI taking historical times for tasks to come up with a good estimate? But in the past, maybe you did not schedule properly, and so Parkinson's law artificially inflated the actual times that those jobs took. Would you know that? Then benefit, AI could create all the PMs and predictive maintenance routes and tasks that you need. AI could do root cause analysis, develop projects, rank projects to replace inherently unreliable asset. But caution, is AI just taking manufacturer recommendations? Does it know our plant's application? That manufacturer made a pump that can be used in 1,000, 2,000 different plants. What are you using that pump for? Is it for a backup pump? Is it a primary pump? What's the criticality of that system? And then, regardless of that, a pump can fail in 100 different ways. But that pump and that application that you have here might have 2 predominant failure modes. Does AI know that, or can it learn that? Then, knowing that, can AI adjust the PMs and predictive maintenance? Not only that, would AI know your facility's tolerance for risk? Maybe you've got a certain catastrophic failure mode that happens once every 2 years. But if it happens, the PF curve potential to fail to actual fail is a month. But it only happens once every 2 years. Well, your PM has to do a certain inspection for that every 2 weeks, so that when you do find it, you have within a month to do something about it. But it hasn't happened for over 2 years. And it might not happen for another 3 years. But it might happen in 2 years, and if it did, it was catastrophic. What is your tolerance for what you think is catastrophic for doing that? So you got to look at all that stuff. And then the sensors that we have in our plants now, feeding information back into your computer. This pump's got a bearing problem. This motor's got a bearing problem. This pump over here has another problem. Feeding all that data in there. Make sure, if your system is set up with AI to automatically alarm, that it's outside of 3 sigma. Normal operation is in 3 sigma. That's a normal deviation. It could happen over here, 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 and over here, here, here. That pump is operating within that 3 sigma limit. Maybe it should only alarm if it goes above 3 sigma. But what if it has a certain number of alarms inside of 3 sigma? And there are 8 standard tests for alarms. Is it using those tests to say that we should have an alarm and write a work order? If you're not careful and you're just letting it automatically write work orders for alarms, you might come in one morning, you have a couple thousand work orders for the same alarm. And then maybe you can set it where it only writes 1 work order for it, so it knows not to duplicate work orders. So a lot of those might be easy fixes, might be more difficult things to look at. Some of them might not be fixable. But I think that's what we'll be looking at as we go more and more to AI. So those are my thoughts right now. Thanks for letting me share that, give my 2 cents, and be part of your maintenance family. And look forward to seeing you again, and God bless.